Happy Monday. And let everything load here. Oh, see if I can move this without messing up too much stuff. I just told Melissa everything on my desk seems like it's, or on the table seems like it's sideways. Now that looks even more like I'm crooked. That's a little better. Okay. Happy Monday. If you're watching on a replay, let us know in the comments, hashtag replay. And okay, Melissa says I'm good. So I just gotta get my video up so I can see comments. Come on, there we go. All right. Oh, you guys are saying hi before I even get in there. Hi, Holly. Hi, Mama. Nicole. Hi. Still working on your flower child cardigan. Excellent. Hi, Sherry. I think they're up to what, nine people now making the flower child cardigan. Which is awesome. So it's a DK weight pattern, so it's gonna go a little bit faster than the fingering weight pullover that they did a few months back. Hi, Sarah. Both YouTube and Facebook. Awesome. Joyce, back to the lupine blouse. Excellent. Joyce has been doing that cat book. I can't remember what it was, library cat something, the mystery double knit along. And she's been posting it in our craft along group updates each week with what the clue was and the different patterns. And it's cats and books on shelves, and it's so cute. Makes me want to do that one, but I need to finish the one from 2 years ago first. Hi, Linda. It is so wintry out. Melissa and I were talking. She was working over by Grand Rapids today and had to drive back. And I'm glad she made it safe and sound, that's for sure. Cozy cat shelf. There we go. Yeah. Hi, Jackie. All right, we got a bunch of people joining us today. That's awesome. Okay, let's get started. Welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is January 19th, 2026. My name is Kristen. I'm the owner of the Little Yarn Shop located in Saginaw, Michigan, inside the SVRC Marketplace. We are here Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. The rest of the market is Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And Monday nights, Deb and Ashley host drop-in knitting. If you didn't see or haven't heard, they changed their location of where they are meeting on Monday evenings. They used to meet up in the front lobby where the turnstile doors are off Washington. There aren't as many tables and chairs there anymore, and it's really cold up there right now. Like, I mean, I might be putting my hair up because in the shop it's about 74 degrees, but in the back hallway by the restaurant, the thermostat out there said 64, and the closer you get to the front of the building, the colder it gets. So they are meeting in a super secret area off to the other end of the building. So if you haven't been on a Monday in a while, scroll back on Facebook and look at the posts that I made there's a little photo and an arrow of where to come in, because Mondays, the market's closed, everything's locked up. It's a kind of a speakeasy vibe that you have to knock and have them let you in. Let's see. While I was chatting, who did I miss? Charlene, hi. Oriana, hi. Oriana, it looked like you were out riding in the snow. Oof. Yeah, and I'm curious how I was thinking of you earlier today because I saw on the radar it looks like everything is just the wind is just hitting Lake Michigan and just keeps dumping snow on the whole west side of the state. Sarah, crazy cold in Monroe, supposed to be in Aurora tonight. I saw that. I don't know that I want to brave going outside, although it seems like it might be kind of cloudy too. Yeah, that pileup was not far from where Melissa was. White scarf behind me is pretty. Oh, yeah, we can talk about that. Joyce made that. Hi, Jamie. I'm gonna grab that because I did mean to talk about that. Joyce will just have to comment with what the name of the pattern is. But you all know Joyce is a beautiful knitter, and she does things just because they pique her interest. So not only is this scarf just a beautiful lace scarf. Hi, Rosaria. It has beads in it. I don't know if you can see the beads though. That's why I had it on black because it's easy to see. But I don't want to make my mannequin naked um while we're on while we're on screen. So it's kind of tricky to see, but there are so many beads in this. Um and they have kind of like that AB, the Aurora finish on them, but you can't really see it. But this is knit with Universal Yarns Magnolia, which is an acrylic, and no, it's not acrylic. It's kind of like a bamboo yarn. It's modal and cashmere. So it's got this beautiful glossy shine to it, this great drape. And if I recall, you either started in the middle and worked your way out or started at the ends and worked your way in. But I can't remember. There is a center point, and I don't remember if she had to Kitchener it, but I can see where the stitches changed. Maybe I can't see where the stitches changed directions. Maybe I'm just making stuff up, you guys. That could very well be. Oh, there we go. Looks like I'm gonna guess that you started on the outside and worked your way in. And then in the middle, it gets grafted together. But yes, it's absolutely gorgeous. She loaned that because we talk about it all the time. Maybe if I hold it like this, you guys can see the beads. Maybe just a little bit. On these cameras, they just don't want to focus on anything. But yes, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Worked from Nance. Haha, I was right. Um, the Giggle Water Shawl. Yes. Hi, Karen. Okay, already, you guys, I need to put my hair up because it is warm in here. You see my cheeks are pink. I was going to get here and throw on a sweater, but that's not going to happen because yeah, it's toasty in here. Hi, babe. Okay, so that's who we are and where we are. Not wearing any hand knits, like I said, because it's warm in here, but I did finish something. So I had leftovers from the retro sweater that I did, which was the blue and gray mosaic sweater. And I had leftovers of all three colors. So I knit a hat with my leftovers, kind of a lion's inspired hat to match my lion's inspired sweater. The hat is called the Fair Isle Ombre Beanie. And if you've not done color work before, this is not a bad place to start. Everything is, you're not carrying your yarn more than one stitch. So it's one in one color, one in the other color. It's just a matter of how close the rows are together. And then when you switch colors, then you kind of get that ombre look. But I haven't blocked it yet because, you know me. Obviously, it's going to look funny because I have my ponytail, but look at the cute hat. The decreases are done real quick. I didn't do the decreases in the direction they said to because I sometimes don't like following directions. And it had you get to each marker and do a slip slip knit, and I don't like doing those. I like knitting two together. So it has kind of a twirly star look. And I think if you had done your slip slip knits, it may have been more straight lines, but nobody's gonna notice that when they look at it. You guys might just because I've told you about it. But so it's done. That's the Fair Isle ombre. Fair Isle ombre beanie. Why does it show Fair Isle Island beanie? That's weird. I don't know why it showed up that way, but that's the hat. So at least I finished something. I would have had my Trixie sweater finished. So that's the one that I've been working on. And where's the front? I've got the body done. I've got a sleeve done. And yes, the hem is asymmetrical. So it's got a split hem down at the bottom and you knit the back longer than you knit the front. And I've got one sleeve done. And it's sort of not even bracelet length. Hi, Maria, but just kind of mid arm. As a reminder, this is more of a poncho style than like a sweater. So it's boxy and a little bit oversized. But then they have you do this fun texture with your colors on the cuff, which I think is really fun. So one sleeve is done. The second sleeve is started. However, oh, because you typed it wrong. Okay, I was thinking it was a copy and paste thing, and sometimes that happens when you see a pattern in Ravelry, but when you download the PDF, it shows a different pattern name. But okay, so second sleeve has been started. I ran out of yarn, you guys. I'm not sure if it was of a factor of me miscalculating the amount of yarn that I would need, or just that I thought, well, I have two skeins, and by the time I need my third skein, I will have ordered more and it will be here. Either way, I'm out of yarn and we don't have any more here. So I'm kind of stuck. I can't work on it anymore until I get more yarn back in. But I really love how it looks. I love the four colors together. The original was designed for three, as a reminder. That's what it looks like. But I wanted to use one of the medley and montage kit sets from Earth Yarns. And the great thing about it is because you're using four colors, you need a little bit less of each color. And this is what I had left. And all I have to do is that little bit of cuff, which is not going to take much. I think it's 2 rounds of each. Just that one yarn, John. Not like I didn't run out of yarn in general. I just ran out of yarn of that one. I know. You'd think also the lady who owns a yarn store would be better at making sure she knew she had enough yarn for a project, but you live and you learn, and we all make mistakes. So this is what I have left. There's only 2 rounds of each color in the cuff, so that's not going to take much. So the great news about that is if you wanted to do it out of these colors, there's plenty to do one of the larger sizes of that sweater and still use just one of these kits, which I think is great because we want to try and maximize your yardage as much as possible. So that's sort of what I'm working on. I didn't have any other project at home that I wanted to kind of play around with except my that Stella quilt square blanket. So I did kind of pick up and I worked one little square of a square on that. But I didn't bring that in to show it off because it was just a black square. Dad said the same thing. Oh, but just Barn Alex around here. I tell you what. So I was thinking about what my project is going to be when I go to Florida next week. I'm not going to schedule a live for next Monday because I will be in Florida. We are flying down on Sunday. I'm going to fly down with mom and dad and help them get down there, get settled, and see how things are going. And, you have to have a travel project, and it's fun to have a new travel project that's something fun and different. So I think what I am going to do is a top called Bubbles by Yumiko Alexander. And she uses all Dando yarns. We don't carry Dando yarns, but I love this little Bubbles top. We've done Stacy has done quite a few of her patterns. The Shina vest was one of her patterns. We've done that. And then the bamboo top that Brenda and Jody and I think somebody else made, I can't think of it, is one of their patterns too, but she's got great kind of like good layering pieces. So this pattern has options, 3 different lengths of the body, 2 different sweater lengths, there's 2 different sleeve lengths. So the body length could be 19, 21, or 23 inches, and then you could do long sleeves or short sleeves. The long sleeves aren't long. I don't know if you can see that, but they're kind of like a bracelet length or a 3/4 length sleeve. Yes, I am this bitter cold. I am choosing to believe that it's here to make me appreciate the warmth of Florida even more. I mean, I always appreciate the warmth in Florida. And I was looking at the forecast and it's not supposed to be super hot down there, but I mean, I'll take 70s over wind chill -3 degrees any day. Okay, back to this pattern. They call for a yarn that is 100% linen. And when I first looked at this pattern, that is what I was thinking. I ordered a bag of Barocco modern linen for this pattern. But then when I went back in the back to my storage of where I've ordered yarns to try to knit samples, I came across a bag of Wonderland Yarns Summer Silk. The only time we've gotten this yarn was a couple years ago when we were doing one of their clubs, and each month the base was different. So they kind of chose what base they were going to promote that month. And one month was this summer silk. So it's a fingering weight, 100% silk barrette. Barrette. I don't know what that word is. Bourette. But it's 100% silk of some sort. It's not super soft and it feels a little cottony, which might be good in that I don't think it's going to stretch a lot, but it might give great drape for this project. I think the yarn they use is a little bit heavier, more of a worsted or a DK. It doesn't say, it just says linen yarn on the pattern. It probably says on Ravelry a little bit more specifically. 20 stitches on 9s. So I am definitely going to swatch because it's a yarn I have not worked with before in any color. But the color is called Sublime and it's this taupey, pinky, purpley color that I think would work really well in a lacy top. Kind of coordinates with my hair a little bit, kind of in a purple pink phase. It is what it is. And from what I can tell, I think I'm going to do the short sleeve version. And both of her samples that she did are the 19-inch, which is the shortest of the lengths. So if I did that, I would only need 600, just over 600 yards. And these have 390 each. Chainette worsted. Oh, okay. Really? Oh, not what I have, but the Dando linen yarn that they use. Is that what you're talking about, Melissa? Okay. Um, from like it says fingering. So chainette worsted. I'm going to try and swatch this. I'm hoping it will work because I think that it will be more pleasant to knit with than 100% linen. Quite honestly, I know linen softens up, but I don't know if I can handle it for a whole top. We're going to try it. So this week before I leave, I'm going to swatch. And if it works, then I will wind up the other skein I need. So I think I'm only going to need 2 skeins. This has 390 yards in it, which is low for a fingering, but for a project like this, I think it's kind of doesn't look like it will knit like a fingering. So I might do a big swatch and just play around and see what it looks like at different gauges. It would be great if I only need 2 because it came in bags of 6, so I can put the other 4 out for sale. So that's probably going to be my next project that I will be working on until I get more cream colored yarn in to finish up my Trixie sweater. That's what I might be working on. Okay. I promised notions. You guys, the post office was about killing me last week with all of these notions that I told you about last Monday and I was supposed to get last Monday. And last Monday they stayed in Cincinnati. And then Tuesday they kind of were moving around, and Tuesday they came to Saginaw. Wednesday they went to Bay City. Thursday they went to Detroit, and finally we got them on Friday. And I know that's not the fault of the vendor because all they do is address it and send it to us. And when it did finally get delivered, the mail person said they didn't see anything on the package that would have caused any sort of confusion with where it was supposed to be delivered. I just kind of decided it wanted to take a couple detours before it got to us. But we got them finally. So notions are here from Twice Sheared Sheep. We have gauges, sock gauges, snap IDs, yarn gaiters, a couple new things. So things that are not new to them, but that are new for us here in the store. And I apologize for the rustling packaging, but I wanted to take them out of the packaging because sometimes it's a little shiny and you can't see it. So first up are these. Oh, I thought they were stuck on here, but they're not. Well, that one is. Well, they sort of are. Snap ID cord organizer tags. These are the older style ones, and I like these ones better, so I specifically ordered these. Their newer ones don't have inches on them. They only have like small, medium, large, and that doesn't make sense in my brain. I would rather have the ones with numbers. So these say 16, 24, 32, and 40, and they're little cord organizers, so you can open them up and put your interchangeable cords in there, snap it closed, and it'll hold. The hole in there is pretty big. Like it would hold quite a few cords of all the same length. So if you have a bunch of cords, I mean, I would get a set of these for each type of needles that I have. So I would get a set for my Hayas. I would get a set for my Knitter's Pride. I would get a set for my Chigu because why not? Because I never know. And to me, the Chigu cords are easier to see the measurements unless I'm in here because the bright light reflecting off the metal, it makes it difficult to see. But how nice would that be just to be able to grab what you need, know it's the right length, and keep yourself organized. So these are the Snap ID cord organizers. They're $21 for this, for the set of 4 of them. 2 sets. Okay, Mom, you got it. So we've got a bunch of those in. Another item new to us, but not new to Twice Sheared Sheep, is their sock ruler. And it's a slat bracelet sock ruler. This one's been around for a couple years, but I really like it. So sock sizing ruler. It's got an arrow down at one end, so you know which end to put into your sock. And you can use this whether you're knitting cuff down or toe up. And it's got just regular ruler measurements on the back side of it, but then it's got sock, men and women's and kids shoe size on the front. So that can kind of tell you if somebody tells you their shoe size, you can go by that. Otherwise, hi, Tony. Otherwise you can use the ruler part on the back, but it's a slat bracelet. How fun are those? Anybody who's, our generation or a little bit older or a little bit younger likes playing around with slat bracelets. So it says on their instructions, place your sock ruler with the arrow end snug against the heel or toe of your sock and knit until you reach the line for your desired size. Then begin your toe or heel. So if you're knitting toe up, you would insert this in, put that point at the toe, don't stretch it, but make it snug there. When it hits the size of the foot that you're knitting for, then you know to start your heel. If you're knitting cuff down, once you've turned your heel and started to work the foot, you would do the same thing the other way. Put this in, snug up against the base of the heel and knit to your desired size, and then you would start your toe from there. So sock rulers, cool little things to have. They don't take up a lot of space, whether they're flat like this or whether they're rolled up like a bracelet. So we've got those. We should have one of these just out for sample. So let me see if I can peel off. It says peel off clear film. These nails are great for everything except for stuff like this. I don't think I can peel off the film on this guy with these nails. I should have done that ahead of time, but I didn't. So this one looks fuzzy, but it's not supposed to be. It's just because it's got a film on it that says, look at that, peel off clear film. So their original gauge, their Twice Sheared Sheep quick gauge works for both knitting and crochet to check your stitches per inch. So you would lay this on your fabric. I don't know how easy this will be to show, but you would lay it on your fabric and you would use those black lines and find, let's see. You would move it around until you find the right size where each stitch lines up in a box. So my gauge is approximately 4.5 stitches per inch. So if I lay this out, if I do this, I can see 4.5 stitches, like all my stitches fit in those boxes, and it tells me right below there, that's 4.5 stitches per inch. So, these are their original stitch gauge, and you can use it for either knitting or crochet stitches. What they just came out with now is a row gauge, which makes it also kind of hard to find. Shar, I'm sure Melissa's on this, but put in the comments what you need what, because I know I'm going through a lot of stuff. The row gauge is the same sort of thing where you'll lay it out but instead of matching your stitches across, you're going to match your rows up and down with your knitting. So let's see. I am at around 7 rows per inch, which means, and I like this because it goes from 9 stitches per inch, 9 rows per inch. Oh, they have a misprint. They have a misprint on their things. That's kind of a bummer. From 9 rows per inch all the way up to 3.5 rows per inch on the row gauge. And again, you can use that. It's got, let me hold it against something white so it's easier to see. There we go. It's got like zigzaggy ones for your knit stitches, or it's got flat boxes, whatever works easier for you with your knitting, but then you could use the flat ones for the crochet too. So so that's one of their new products. I've got 2 other new things. I feel like there was something else too. I don't know. I'm looking at all this stuff though, and I can't think of it. Yarn gaiters. I think everybody that's taking Deb and Ashley's stranded colorwork class right now is going to want one of these because, well, I think everybody's going to want one because they're super cool. But what is a yarn gaiter? I know I kind of explained it last week, but if you have seen some of those project bags that have the grommets in there, you can feed your yarn through and it keeps things from getting too tangled in your bag. If you had, this is my bag that I'm using for all kinds of things right now. If I was working on this hat, for example, and I had 2 colors going, you can run your yarn through. I mean, obviously there are 1, 2, 3, 6 holes in here. So you could do 6 colors, or you could do, you just kind of space them out a little bit more. The difference between something like this and having those grommets in your bags is that this opens. So at one end, and it's acrylic, so it's not going to snag anything. There's a big lobster claw on here. You can take that lobster claw off and this opens. So you're not committed to keeping your project in that bag or having to cut your yarn or, undoing your project. I think I started a pair of socks 2 at a time with one of those little bags that had the grommets in it. And then I had to rip out my socks and it was a mess trying to figure that out. But you can feed your yarn through here and it's got little clips on either end. So it can clip right, my handle's in the way. It can clip right to the edge of the bag and feed things through. If you don't want it on the edge of the bag, you can unclip it, tuck it in. If you have a bag that zips up, Joyce just started using the yarn gaiter with the 2 yarns for the lupine bouse, really working well. Excellent. So these are new. These are fun. I stuck with one color. I got the silver sparkle because why not? Because it's pretty. I mean, look at my nails, you guys. You know I love me some sparkle. So, um, yarn gator. Like a little gator because it looks like a little alligator. But the people that are taking Deb and Ashley's class right now, you've got a lot of yarns going on. I know for the most part they got everybody set up with baggies, but these are these are really cool little tools. I think Melissa's gonna have a lot to a lot of notes for this one, which is good. We love fun notiony things. And one of the other things I'm just noticing now is on these little clips, um they're not like the teeth. It's got like a rubberized, I'm sure you can't see it, but it's got like a rubberized piece in there, which is kind of cool because it won't damage your bag, but it'll stay super grippy. So I think that's I gotta get myself. I'm all discombobulated, you guys. So that's the yarn gator. I saved the best for last because I think this is really, really cool. This is what they are calling their Stitch Scout multi-tool. So it's a cute little box that comes like this, and it's all wood. Looks like a little trinket box. And on this front, it's got a needle gauge or hook gauge. It could be both. A 1-inch square to check your stitch gauge and row gauge. That's the top piece. And then it's got these little guys here. This piece down here has yarn cutters. So it's got little sharp blades there for your yarn cutter. And then this piece on the top is for using as a reps per inch tool. If you've got yarn and you don't know how thick it is, anything like that, if you've got yarn with no label on it, you can figure out your reps per inch, and that gives you a good idea of what weight your yarn is. This other piece opens up and shows the little storage area inside. So it comes with a tapestry needle and a little fix-it style crochet hook. It's pointy at one end with the little crochet hook on the other end. And then you can hide your other little goodies in there, your stitch markers, anything like that, those little scissors. I'm pretty sure those little scissors would fit in here too. And it all closes up nicely. And it has a tape measure in there. So it's like everything you need in one little space. It's kind of like the knit kits I think that's the word that I couldn't think of last year or last week when I was trying to talk about these, like the knit kits that we used to have, but just kind of in a more sustainable way. It's not plastic, it's all wood. There aren't very many moving parts in here. Everything just kind of slides together and holds together nicely. So these are really, really cool. Great gift for yourself or for others. It is. It's like a Swiss Army knife for knitters and crocheters. These are $46. I ordered quite a few of them because I think they're gonna be good, a good seller and a good thing for us to have around here. These are things we've got in the shop for sale. They are not a specialty consignment item or anything like that. So you can use your gift cards on them. Fiber funds, I keep forgetting to mention, don't forget to use your fiber funds before the end of the month if you got any from around the holidays. Those are only good in January. So make sure you come in and spend those before the month is up. And if you're not here and you have fiber funds that need to be spent, you can always give us a call and order things over the phone or email us, message us through Facebook, lots of options, text the shop even. So we've got those. Those are all our new fun goodies that it's just fun. It's fun to get tools. Sometimes we can justify having enough yarn, but I don't think we can ever justify having new tools because they make our jobs easier and they make our lives easier and they're just fun. So that's the new items that we have. Two more things I wanted to mention. I always like to try and highlight a local business and making bacon. Let me get my little sheet out from up here. Barbara, who owns Making Bacon, is a friend of ours. She's a fellow knitter and she has her spot here in the market, plus having a food truck and a food trailer. But she is running, they do really yummy burgers. She's running a January burger special, bacon jam cheeseburger. This is hand patted burger on a toasted buttercrust bakery bun with your choice of cheese and a delectable house-made bacon jam. I am afraid of spice, so I did not try one because she told me I probably wouldn't like it because it might be too spicy for me. But I've heard a couple of the ladies got the bacon jam burger and they really liked it. She makes her own bacon jam. It's got all kinds of yummy things in there. She was in here the other day naming off all the things that were in there and they sound delicious. Burgers are $12.50. A combo meal, which includes a brownie and a drink, is $19. But she's got those here. You can do DoorDash or Grubhub to get them if you're local, but you can't find your way in here on a Wednesday through Saturday. Her other employee, Lori, is also a knitter and one of our ladies here. So yes, by supporting them, you're supporting local small business and also knitters. The more money they make, the more they can buy yarn. And isn't that everybody's goal? And last but not least, local yarn store day is April 25th. Tony, I know it could very well be. I knew that was coming up. They were in here taping a couple months ago, so I knew it was coming up that they would be on the under the radar. So Tony said it's called Cakes the Great Popcorn was on under the radar. The guys were in here and did a bunch of filming. I know they did kind of a viewing of it a month or two back. That I didn't, but I didn't get to see it. So yeah, we're excited about any of the vendors in here getting highlights and talked about. So it's a fun place to be. Um I don't know if I shared it on the business page. I know I shared it on my personal page. And if I'm going to go back and look and see, because if I didn't share it on the business page, I want to. Alicia Martin Lane, who is the mom of Cakes the Great. So she's one of the co-founders of Cakes the Great Popcorn, but she's also the marketing person for SVRC. And she did a really good video explaining oh, you guys, words are tough sometimes. The goal is not the right word, but how our market should function and about it being an incubator space and giving people the opportunities to come in and see if being a small business owner is what they want, if it works for them. And sometimes that means they find out after a couple months that it's not for them. And they're able to find that out without making huge overhead investments and signing multi-year leases, all that sort of thing. Sometimes it means a business comes in, they do really well, they have a great concept, and they grow bigger than the market can offer. So there are changes happening around here all the time, but that is intentional. That's how it's supposed to be. And there are new businesses coming in. They've got leases signed for at least 3 of the spaces, possibly more. It's just a lengthy process for them to go through the vetting process of making sure that the people who want to come in have a business plan, have all their ducks in a row. Anybody that's doing food, that has to be health department or MDARD certified. That it just takes time. Everything takes time around here. So I'm going to go back and see if I haven't shared that on the shop page. I will, because she does a better job explaining it than I do. But we love being in this market, and that's half the fun and sometimes the disappointment when things we love are here and then they're gone. Sometimes we have to follow them elsewhere. Sometimes they just don't make it. And that's, that's how it is with a lot of small businesses. Fortunately or unfortunately, sometimes it just means people find that it's small business ownership is not for them. And and that's okay. Okay, that's all I've got for everybody tonight. We do have some businesses moving and grooving, and I see where White's Fishery was out here. There's a lot of new equipment and stuff, which is hello, Isabella Flock Co. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, I'm going to put a post out there about it, so be thinking about this too. But I am looking at lining up some trunk shows for this year. LYS Day is April 25th, so I'm thinking about it for that, but I'm also thinking about it just in terms of summer yarn crawls and any other just when we started like in the catfish. Yep, that's just sometimes it happens. Just to have kind of a, what we'd like to have is kind of a rotating trunk show feature area here in the shop. So tag dyers that you know that you think might be interested in doing a collaboration and partnering up with us for a trunk show. We like to know who you all see out there that you like and you'd like to see us bring in. A lot of times we can't do we can't bring all the yarn dyers in all the time, but we can do a trunk show with somebody, introduce more people to their yarns and bring something a little bit fun and different to you guys from here. So tag dyers in the comments here and then keep an eye out because I am going to make a separate post asking specifically for people to tag dyers or bag makers or anything like that really. It doesn't just have to be yarn dyers, but yeah, we want to set up some trunk shows and get some things going for this year. So thank you. Sherry says, have a fun trip. We are. It'll be a blast. I always love getting to hang out with my mom and dad. So I hope everybody has a great week. Like I said, I don't think there will be a live next Monday unless I'm, sitting by the pool and just want to pop on and say hi, but I'm not going to guarantee you that there will be one. So it might be a week or so before I see you all, but I'm here all week. The shop is open while I'm gone. Karen's gonna be here holding things down and like she does. And yeah, it'll just be business as usual. I just won't be here. So have a great week. Stay warm, stay safe, stay off the roads as much as you can, unless you're gonna come in and see us, and then just be very careful when you're coming in to see us. All right, everybody, have a great week, have a great night, and stay cozy, stay warm, stay creative, and we'll see you all